I'm Nancy Volpert, and as Allison already said, I'm a Senior Director at Jewish Family Service LA, and I'm really happy to be joined by my Public Policy Chair, Tammy Kagan-Abram. It is our joy, on behalf of JPAC, to present the Jerry Sampson Memorial Award for Legislator of the Year to someone who is a friend to JPAC, to the Jewish community, and quite frankly, a friend to all of us at Jewish Family Service Los Angeles, to thank Adrin Nazarian for all of his work during his tenure in office that has made a significant contributions to advancing JPAC policy priorities. Adrin.
Assemblymember Nazarian was elected in November 2012 to represent California's 46th Assembly District, which includes the San Fernando Valley, the central San Fernando Valley. He's a long believer in community engagement and activism, and he has served on the boards of several community-based organizations, including the East Valley YMCA and the YWCA. He has transformed and energized the Aging and Long-Term Care Committee since becoming its chair, and sits on the Assembly Health Committee and the Select Committee on the State of Hate, among other assignments. He's an associate member of the Jewish Caucus and has been a vocal ally against antisemitism and in favor of community security initiatives and Holocaust and genocide education. As an Armenian legislator in a heavily Armenian and Jewish district, he's been an important bridge between the two communities. As chair of the Assembly Aging Committee, he is a forceful voice for the frail and vulnerable seniors and a champion for the needs of those who are disenfranchised, particularly those challenged by poverty, racism, and systemic inequity.
Assemblymember Nazarian has been a steadfast ally to the Jewish community and JPAC throughout his time in the legislature. He has been a champion for older adults, including JPAC's successful efforts in 2018 to create and fund the California Holocaust Survivor Assistance Program, which several other legislators here were key in. And on a personal note, last summer he helped fund the purchase of the JFS SOVA Community Food and Resource Program in conjunction with the Jewish Caucus and several other members. Assemblymember Nazarian, your partnership, friendship, and deep commitment to the community will benefit individuals and communities throughout the state. We are particularly pleased to say he's my Assembly member, and we will appreciate your efforts for generations to come. Congratulations, please accept.
First of all, thank you very much. I'm humbled by this recognition. You know, I have the honor of coming up here and representing my community and try to do the things that I feel are good, and then I get to be honored and recognized for it. So thank you to all of you for doing that. Second, I want to just, without getting into the details of everything, just want to share my appreciation with you about how important it is that all of you continue doing what it is you do. My family, Armenian background, obviously in my 20s I found out that I'm actually 1/16 Jewish. My great-grandmother in the region of Nagorno-Karabakh and Artsakh married into an Armenian family because Jewish families sought refuge and protection by intermarrying. And so that's how she was protected. And the stories like this are many. But I didn't even find out about this until I was 21, and my mother explained to me some of the family background. Going back before that, at the age of 8, when I had just immigrated here from Iran after the war between Iran and Iraq started, my mother had a beauty salon in Iran, but came over here and she quickly got her license to start working. And one of the first clients that started coming to her and continued was a woman, a very gentle woman, by the name of Hannah Corvitt. I don't expect any of you here to know. She wasn't very active in the community, but she did her part in order to make sure that she supported the community. But she didn't stop there either. She continued supporting others in meaningful ways. I remember at the age of 8 when she would come over to my parents' house, to my mother's apartment. My father wasn't there yet with us. He stayed behind in Iran. When she would come over, first of all, she told my mother, don't just work. Sorry, folks, if you weren't hearing me. Don't just work from the store, work at home so you can keep all the proceeds for yourself. So she would come in as a client to our apartment on Saturday mornings so that she could make sure that my mother keeps all of the proceeds as she was doing the work on her. And she would inadvertently always bring some kind of a gift for me. I'll never forget, she brought a satchel for me once with $5 in it and said, you gotta start saving up. I did. Not only did I save up, but I kept on saving up. I saved up to the point where I eventually paid for my college. I paid for the down payment of my first house. I paid for my wedding. I even paid for the remodeling of my house. All on a public employee salary, by the way. Now, years later, I would go on to run for public office. And in the time that I've humbly been able to have the opportunity to serve, established the Children's Savings Fund, which the governor just funded last year up to a tune of $2 billion, which is gonna allow, every child born in California to have a savings account to their name through scholarship program so that they can pursue some kind of an education. All this coming from the humble beginnings of a woman who invested in a child very early on, not having a clue where this child was gonna go, where this family was gonna go. But her mitzvah lives until today. So for all of you coming up here, this is wonderful what you do and getting together and advocating, but just remember also the purposes of what you're advocating for. It's a lot of those other individuals who are seeking that same opportunity. I met this woman at a time that I couldn't even speak English. And English became my fourth language. And here I am today with you in honor of Hannah Corvitt. So thank you all very much.